So we're going to talk about the Cartesian coordinate system in this video. So the Cartesian coordinate system. So this system has two axes. We call the y-axis, which is the vertical axis, and the x-axis is the horizontal axis. Okay? Now, to represent a point in this Cartesian coordinate system, we use an x comma y. So an x comma y coordinate. So how does this work? How does that work? Well, the x tells you how far left or right to go. If it's a negative number, you go to the left, and if it's a positive number, you go to the right, okay? And then the y-coordinate tells you how far down or up to go. And so if it's a negative number, you go down, and if it's a positive number, you go up. So this coordinate here, we go over 1, 2, 3 to the left, to the right. So it's a positive 3 for the x value. And then we go up 1, so that's a positive 1 for the y value. All right, so that's how we would plot that point. Now we call this the first quadrant. So quadrant 1, okay? In quadrant 1, both x and y are positive. This is quadrant 2. Quadrant 3 is down here. And the last quadrant, quadrant 7, just kidding. I know my jokes are so great. All right, quadrant 4 is the last quadrant there. Okay, so it's kind of like this counterclockwise rotation around. All right. So, point that's in particular of interest to us is this point right here where the two axes cross. This is where x equals 0 and y equals 0. This is known as the origin. Okay, it's the origin. All right. So we call this thing right here an ordered pair. So an ordered pair gives the location of a point xy. Okay, the horizontal displacement how far we are away from the origin horizontally versus the vertical displacement. Okay, how far we are away from the origin vertically. Okay, now on the x-axis, how far away are we vertically from the origin? Well, on the x-axis, y is equal to 0. Okay, we're 0 units away from the origin in the vertical direction. Okay, so the x-axis, to get on the x-axis, I set y equal to 0. This is going to be very important to us later. Okay, I set y equal to 0. Now, the y-axis, okay, to be on the y-axis, well, to do this, okay, the y-axis, how do I do this? What is my value of x? Well, I don't move left and I don't move right. So that tells me that I set x equal to 0 for the y-axis, okay? So interesting thought right there. So if we wanted to find an x-intercept, okay, where we cross the x-axis, we need only set y equal to 0. And if we wanted to find a y-intercept, we need only set x equal to 0. Okay? So let's plot a couple more points, and then we'll tell what quadrant they're in. So let's plot the point -2, -5. Oh, we can't do that on that graph. -2, -1. Okay, so what does that look like? Well, that means I go to the left. So I go left 2 and down 1. So 1, 2, down 1. So that's the point -2, -1. It's in Q3. Okay, quadrant 3. So you might be asked what quadrant you're in. All right, let's do -3, comma 2. So that means I go to left 3 and up 2. So 1, 2, 3, and then up 1, 2. So I'll put my dot right there. So that's going to be -3, comma 2. Okay, let's try this. 2, comma 0. Let's plot that. This says I go to the right 2, so 1, 2, and then up nowhere, so I just put my dot right there. Now, this last one that we just did, this was in Q2, okay? But what about this point right here? Where are we located now? It doesn't look like we're in Q1 or Q4, right? So where are we? We are actually on the positive x-axis. So this point is on the positive x-axis, okay? So it's on the x-axis, but it's on the positive side, all right? So if it lands on an axis, okay, then you got to account for that. So let's do one more just to make sure we got it. So 0, comma -3. Let's plot this one. So this tells me to go left or right. Nope, it doesn't tell me to go left or right. So I know I'm on the y-axis. And this tells me to go down 3. 1, 2, 3. And I put a dot here. So this is 0, comma -3 right there. Okay? Now, where am I now? Well, I'm on the y-axis. I'm not in Q4 or Q3. But which axis side am I on? Am I on the positive side or am I on the I'm on the negative side. So this is the negative y-axis. Okay, so that's the negative y-axis. So this is just a technique, a coordinate system that allows us to take algebraic equations and give a picture to them in what we refer to later on as graphs, okay? So it's a way that we can take, an algebraic equation, like maybe y equals x squared, and now all of a sudden we can make a picture out of this, okay? So this is the graph on the Cartesian coordinate system, okay? And so that's kind of where we're heading with this. All right, guys.